like the start of the race was kind of exhilarating. You know,
Oh
Lando
yeah,
Norris,
he did. He had a very. I think Max had a very poor reaction time yesterday. So in fact, even like Piastri had a very good start as well. So I think Piastri, Orlando led the Grand Prix for a few laps.
Yeah,
that was sensational.
Until DRS was enabled.
Yeah, we've already said like no car takes the DRS well as much as they do.
Through goes Hamilton! You can hear the cheers from Monza!
The mics are on and off we go.
Hi guys, my name is Winnie.
My name is Ray.
Welcome to the Wheezed Podcast, the home of Formula One content and everything motorsport. I hope you had a lovely weekend. We were out in the good old Silverstone. It's actually the oldest Formula One fixture. It's so nice. Lovely corners, lovely track. Like it's just a beauty. It's just amazing for drivers to go.
Yeah, amazing fans. So many fans. 480,000 people in attendance.
I feel like that's the highest number in like the recent past for like a Grand Prix attendance.
Yeah, they broke the record.
We are all about breaking records.
Wait for Netherlands.
Yeah, it's a lovely track with like I think the best corners in the F1 calendar. You know, some iconic. You know, the maggots and buckets. So beautiful, very beautiful.
Yeah, the Hamilton Street.
The Hanger Street. I just love it. They
Cops
have I feel like oh yeah, trauma. Cops Corner. I mean, I just love it. I feel like the names like are so nice. I think we should do a video explaining the origin of such names because some of them I thought like Margot was named from like Margot, but there's something like legendary about it, like the name and everything. Beckett's, I think it's named after someone. So there's the Margot's and Beckett's. And then Cops Corner, Hanger Street, Hamilton Street.
Yeah, it's named after Hamilton.
Oh, that one we know. It's named after someone.
People might think it's named after someone. It's actually
no, it's named
after
Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, he's one.
At least yesterday I did hear
times.
something. Like Lewis on the Hamilton Street, Hamilton goes on the Hamilton Street. Oh yeah, he's won there 8 times.
8 times.
I think that is crazy, you know? 8 times, and yesterday that was his 14th podium.
Yeah, in 16 races that he's competed in.
So he's won 8 times out of those.
Yeah.
Wow, so it's very good records being broken this weekend. Max took a 6th consecutive win, joining a very select group of drivers. Lewis has not won 6 straight races.
Yeah,
he doesn't have such a streak.
I don't think this is. That was the era of Mercedes dominance. This is Max dominance. It's
about Red Bull. Okay,
yeah, it's
Red
Max.
Bull X Max.
He's carrying the whole team on his shoulders.
Back. Okay. On his back. Definitely. I mean, carrying. Yeah, maybe on his shoulders. Definitely. But he's really doing a good job for Red Bull. So we were out in Silverstone before we get into the race. Like, there's so many things happening this weekend all over.
Yeah.
We had the Apple TV are producing like this F1 inspired movie. We still don't know the name, but they had like an Apex GP, so they were really filming like on track with the rest of the team.
Like a real car.
They had like here they have like a modified F2 car.
Yeah.
So we had Brad Pitt and Denson Idris. Like you could see them. They had their own race suits. I really saw Sainz really trying to win those shots, but I can't wait to see who makes it to the final.
I think he's the main character. Do you think?
Sainz.
Yeah.
But it would be so sad for Yanni. You're trained to appear in those shots, and then they use CGI's like computer generated image. So we have that going on. The movie is actually executively produced by Lewis Hamilton through his production company, the Apollodon Films Production. Honestly, this man has everything. He has a production company.
He has a team.
Yeah. So he's really.
Roscoe is back in Silverstone. The king of Silverstone.
Roscoe was, I think he is the king of Silverstone. I think Roscoe has, we were comparing the following. Roscoe actually tops some driver followings. Like he's
the only Nepo baby I support.
Good nepotism, but yeah, Roscoe, such a beautiful bulldog. Is he a bulldog? He's a bulldog.
Yeah.
A vegan bulldog.
People were saying he was probably named after Rosberg. But anyway.
Roscoe. Okay, that would be fun. But then we need to find out maybe.
Only him is the only person who can tell us. So unless you have like contacts to Lewis Hamilton, can you give him a call?
I'll give Roscoe a call. No, but again, I feel like I would reach Lewis first before I reach Roscoe. I feel like Roscoe is more exclusive.
Yeah.
I mean, he travels private flights and everything. And he does like paddock walks. Oh, God. Such a
He has
love.
his own GoPro. Do you have it? Do you have a GoPro?
No. But I have a podcast. He doesn't have a podcast. Yeah, so we can't wait to see. I mean, Apple TV, a lot of productions company are tapping into like the F1 craze going around in the world.
Yeah,
and it's nice.
It was so, interesting to see that actual companies were running sponsor tags on the car itself.
I don't know how impressive that is.
It is.
No, I'm just saying, seeing as some cars are struggling to get sponsors, and here we have
Rich Energy was sponsoring
Rich Energy is back.
Yeah, there were sponsors. Expensify. What is Expensify?
I don't know. The Mercedes were also featured, and the watch company IWC.
Yeah.
Is it called that?
IWC.
Yeah, so it's actually like.
But they're running the Mercedes engine, so.
Yeah, I mean, it
kind of makes sense.
So I feel like it's good. Actually, I love that it's also like they're involving Mercedes, they're involving even Toto said. I mean, Lewis. So that means to give it a bit more, a reality sense into how F1 runs. So I think the movie will be released either maybe late this year or early next year. That's what
we'll have to wait and see Sonny Hayes.
Yes. So Sonny Hayes, a whole garage. So let's just wait and see how that goes. We can't wait to see. I mean, the movie, the whole plot line is like this legendary like racer who comes out of retirement
to mentor a rookie. Now the rookie is
Dempsey Idris, and then the legendary person is
Brad Pitt.
Oh my God, do you think this might happen like in real life? Like we have maybe Sebastian Vettel coming out of retirement to come mentor Mick Schumacher. Sorry, yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of waiting for Audi in 2026.
Yeah, so maybe they might have that lineup. Maybe. Yeah.
2 German drivers.
That would make
for a German car.
Oh, that would be iconic.
Yeah. But what really happened in moving to practice? What was the
takeaway?
The takeaway in practice was the Williams was fast.
Yeah, Williams was actually fast. Like it was fast.
The Williams of Alex Albon.
Yeah.
And in FP2,
also Sargent was actually. I feel like that's a decent pairing. I feel like he is trying. Logan Sargent is really, really trying.
Yeah, he's trying.
He's a rookie, right?
Yeah, he needs. People were saying finally he knows what a kilometer is.
No, Formula 1 fans are mean.
No, because people in the US measure distance in miles. So now he knows what a kilometer is. And
it's always so weird, most of the time. Like, I don't understand miles. Like, I like sometimes when Crofty, like, or Martin Brando goes, like, miles per something, I'm like, oh my God, just convert that because my brain can never do the conversions for me. Like, I want that.
You want it in kilometers. But anyway, we saw Max and Albon, the Ferraris and Albon. It was just a whole Albon thing.
Yeah, I think practice. I think there's nothing really it was nice. We thought Mercedes were looking very quite relatively competitive in practice. A little bit, okay, but terribly. I think it's just, I don't know.
I feel that
just
was
weird.
Not good.
No, but I feel like they were, but I feel like I thought maybe practice really showed a little bit. They had a little pace in them. Anyway.
Until we got to FP3. And then there was a whole, But anyway, quali does not really mean, practice doesn't mean anything. It's just very representative because most teams are doing different, runs.
Yeah, and you can never really know what's the fuel load in the car. So it's not really a good basis for... But sometimes you just get a general idea of how the weekend will feel like.
Because right now I feel like with the cars, you get to know who is apart from the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. You can get to know who is going to be, faster in qualifying. So, qualifying happened. I didn't see like there was anything too new in qualifying. Perez was knocked out again.
Those are five like consecutive time he's not made appearance in Q3. The only other interesting thing is that Charles didn't run in
FP3 because of electrical issues.
He had an electrical issue on his Ferrari.
But what is happening with Charles's Ferrari? It's getting too many issues. I think they just need to go and check the car.
Yeah, but then I think sometimes the teams are being very conscious, like with their any changes being done to the car, because like the cost cap is really limiting teams.
Yeah.
But quali was that Lewis went off in Q1 a little bit.
He almost beat
or maybe
car.
Or maybe he was just saying hi to the fans. You could argue it that way.
He wanted to say hi to the fans.
But that was a good save because he could have just gone to the
barriers.
Yeah, so we had Q1, Albon running very nicely. It's
but it was so funny seeing Perez because he set the fastest time. How do you drop from fast?
He was 7/10, seven. How do we count? Let's just agree on this, because I feel like sometimes we're just always saying different things. Mm-hmm. So when we say 0.7 seconds, those are 7/10. Really? Oh yeah, it's 7/10. Yeah, so he was 7/10 ahead of everyone.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden.
But then you see, quali was a mixed race, mixed conditions qualifying.
Yeah.
So that means it's quite wet. It's not quite really heated up. In fact, there was a bit of showers. So the person who sets
complaining that he feels like he's skiing.
Oh, like
skating.
Oh yeah, skiing. Wow. So I feel like the last person, because there's a racing line being created by the teams, by the cars as they go around the track. So the last person to set, the last, he who loves last loves best. So it was that you set it, your fastest, you set your time, the last, you have the fastest. So I think Checo went early. 7/10 looked like a good gap, and then people are going extra
and he's
fast,
just tumbling down the
He
order.
tumbled, so
And Valtteri did not set a time.
He did set a time in Q2. He qualified P15. He set a time in P15 in Q1. Q1 he made it out of Q1. Q2 he didn't set a time, so he was P15. So we only had 14 cars running in Q2.
Anyway,
but then either way he didn't have apparently he didn't have sufficient fuel to be taken to
I usually don't understand the whole fuel.
And there's someone else who had gone through the same. Is it alone? So who was it?
Lewis.
It was Lewis. They didn't have a sufficient amount of fuel
to run again. It's very funny.
By that we mean sometimes FIA does take a sample of the oil from the cars to actually just see if you're really what are you running in your car. The same way there's those random checks by FIA on the weigh bridge to actually see if your car really weighs what you say it weighs and what regulations say it weighs, and all those things.
But
he was disqualified from qualifying.
I was very surprised to see the McLarens are fast.
I think with the upgrades we really the
funny thing is people laughed at them when this one of the engineers said they're going to be almost at par with the Red Bull, and we were like, how?
Yeah.
And now the McLarens are fast. The Aston Martin, I think they left the upgrades in Canada.
You see, I think it was I think with the Aston Martin car, it performed very nicely in Austria as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a height. I think the Aston Martin does really well in those in a low speed corner kind of circuit. So you're seeing as I think their whole package wouldn't really do well in.
But the McLarens also ran well last.
No, I'll tell you.
Austria.
So I think that's the car setup with the Aston Martin. So I expect them to be very competitive in Hungary, in Budapest, in 2 weeks' time. In fact, I feel like they will be competitive. This weekend was quite an off weekend for them. We had So
both of them were out of place, Lance Stroll and Alonso as well. But anyway, in qualifying, we saw, Lando Norris was almost getting marks, almost.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have DRS in Q1 and I think Q2, Q3, DRS is very there's so much advantage you get from DRS, and there's no car that's really taking advantage of the DRS like the Red Bull. So with DRS coming, there was really no challenging marks. We were just waiting to see who takes the first the first row.
Yeah, seeing the thing about the McLaren that I think people are not giving it a lot of, for me it's wow, because these people were running dead last in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But I think they had these upgrades planned from last year, but they just could not execute them, in the first races. So now
you're also coming with packages doesn't mean that it will really work. I mean, ask Mercedes. Sometimes you might have expectations for you, but I
McLaren, the car that they brought into 2023, they already, the upgrades were already designed for that car. So that's why they have now the huge, the huge gap and the huge advantage. The difference with them and Mercedes is Mercedes realize that, we made a mistake with the car, or they're not running the car that they wish to run in the middle of the season. So it's hard for them to change everything with the cost cap. So it kind of feels like they're developing backwards.
Yeah, they are. But the process, I mean,
they just need to change the whole chassis.
This is not I'm just trying to say how hard it is to be, operate. F1 is a pinnacle of motorsport. We want these teams bringing upgrades, doing things, weekend in, weekend out. But with packages, do I was actually surprised to see that you get limited wind tunnel time. That means you testing, you might have an upgrade. How they go around, making sure that either an upgrade works or not. Mm-hmm. So they have their data, after maybe practice or maybe from a session, maybe in a previous Grand Prix, they have data. They will run it, in their whatever softwares or whatever, and then they try to come up with packages that they can't really, you're not going to go on track and test them before everyone else goes on track. So that means you have that wind tunnel. Wind tunnel is almost simulated track conditions.
Yeah.
So that's how you try to test out your packages. And in fact, it's interesting because different teams do it differently. There are those who maybe do it part by part. That means they're gathering data from the different components. I think you can, it's there are good resources on YouTube. I had gone through Aston Martin, you can just go check out, just search on YouTube Aston Martin wind tunnel, and then Mercedes, I think they do it quite differently.
But also the wind tunnel time is changing, before the summer break.
Because the lower car, the lower your car is placed, the more wind tunnel time you get.
Yeah, so Aston Martin are getting a reduction in wind tunnel time. Mercedes as well. Ferrari are getting more hours, wind tunnel time. And Red Bull is reducing as well.
Yeah, I mean but I feel I kind of feel like Red Bull have a car that runs everywhere, and that's why they're going to win this season, probably next season, the other season, and another season until maybe 2027,
2026.
Yeah, and then
when the new regulations.
But maybe they might even get it right again.
With every change in regulations, there is a period of dominance. So you don't know if the dominance will be Mercedes, Red Bull again, or McLaren, Aston Martin, or Ferrari. But anyway, moving on to the race, I thought Brad Pitt was going to lead the
formation. Come on, this is F1 serious business. We can't have, not to be rude. I mean, I am so sure Brad Pitt and maybe them, so they just have excellent drivers. Brad Pitt is American, is he?
I mean, they should have left a small gap between him and Max.
No.
But anyway, so
I think for safety issues we can't have them running on the grid. But did they have to I don't think they had to get super. I mean, what is it called? A license.
Yeah.
No, I think it's acting, right? So I don't think for safety reasons they would have run with the rest of the grid. Honestly, surely. I mean, I'm so sure you guys wanted it for action to slow down who Max. Nothing can switch off Max. He always
his only competition is Max Verstappen himself. And maybe him thinking about his cats. Maybe when he's in the car.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I feel like the start of the race was kind of exhilarating. You know, Lando Norris,
he did. He had I think Max had a very poor reaction time yesterday. Yeah. So in fact, even like Piastri had a very good start as well. So I think Piastri, Lando led the Grand Prix for a few laps.
Yeah,
that was sensational.
Until DRS was enabled.
Yeah, we've already said like no car takes the DRS well as much as the Red Bull.
But he tried. I feel like he
it was a sensational to give us a win.
Max. Just at least someone else led
the Grand Prix. But Max is like no.
And Oscar was a good wingman, defending. Yeah. But I don't even think he was defending anyone who was behind him because everyone who was behind him was slower than him.
No, I think coming into the weekend, like starting the Grand Prix, we had most I think only like 3 drivers were on. I mean, it was predicted that most, I don't think it was going to rain, but they had said
but there was a chance of rain. And then we had George Russell saying that he's seen a few drops on his visor.
Maybe he was sweating again. Yeah. So I think we had the whole grid starting on mediums apart from like Russell. Mercedes split their strategy. They had Russell on softs, Lewis on mediums. I think the only other driver who was on soft was like Ocon and Tsunoda at the back.
Yeah.
Not at the back, he was like P17, but that's at the back.
Yeah.
And then I think, that was it. Russell, Lewis Lewis went wide. He lost a few couple of
he was going to greet the fans again. I mean, Lewis and these fans.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, he went wide, he lost 2 places.
Yeah, he was P9 for right?
Yeah, he lost 2 places and he had now to do
the work again.
Overtaking where we saw like a little bit of action between Lewis and Alonso.
And not so much action because it didn't last so long.
But Alonso did,
he always defends against Lewis.
He defends like a lion.
All that. But
because Lewis was able to go ahead of Alonso, and we saw the Aston Martin was not really fast because when Lewis got to overtake him, he was the gap was increasing, and we saw Gasly behind Alonso and he in DRS, but he couldn't overtake.
Yeah, so I mean that was good for then that means the Mercedes had a little bit of pace in them, right? Yeah. So and they took the mediums quite well. The car took the mediums, maybe put them in the right temperature, and
then we had the Ferraris. The Ferraris were ahead, but we had Russell and
Ferraris always like making me.
The Ferraris are very interesting.
Russell was sandwiched between I think Sainz and Leclerc. He overtook Sainz, right?
But the funny thing about Ferrari is you don't even need to do too much work. They'll do it for you.
Right.
No.
Well, what do the strategy
I feel like they pit Leclerc so early.
I don't even know. Like I feel they were trying, but like Leclerc was comfortably like Russell even on softs, but then his soft ran for a while.
Yeah, he went almost half race
distance with the softs. Yeah, so I didn't feel like Russell wasn't really threatening Leclerc. I mean, they were back, but he was not overtaking.
Yeah, because he was constantly in DRS, out of DRS. So
they
did like such a threat. So why are you pitting him?
I think they were trying to undercut
him, the person who isn't getting ahead of you. You're trying to undercut him.
It even makes sense. I know I think Russell also opted to stay out because hoping for a safety car.
Yeah.
So they pitted Leclerc. Leclerc tried, he really did try to fight. I feel like that's where the rain almost started hitting them. Almost. I didn't say maybe they were not hit very much, but I still feel like they were hit a little bit.
I don't know. And then we had all these people now coming into the pits.
But no one really reacted to the Ferrari. Like
no
one reacts like Ferrari. I mean,
Max asked.
Yeah, I did see the Ferraris coming. I mean,
and then he was like, no, I think we'll just stick to our strategy.
Yeah, because they are always no one wants to copy Ferrari.
They'll stick to their own strategy. It was saw the whole science moment where his engineer is asking if Plan B will work.
You forgot what Plan B was. Remind me. I feel like Ricky also forgot what the Plan B was. Even Lando, I can't with his team radio. I also feel like they had also forgotten. I feel there's so many plans.
They forgot as well because he was constantly being asked, how many more laps do you feel you can do?
I feel like it's a fair question to ask, but also it's very hard to answer. Like, can a driver? It's calls for a lot of you have to. It's reductive, like reasoning. You have to think, okay, how do the tires feel?
What's my
it really is the pinnacle of motorsport. Like,
but something about Ferrari that I don't understand is this whole Sainz Leclerc kind of issue.
Dynamic. I don't know. I don't. Do they have like a driver number one? Clearly, they're trying to tell us they have
Frederick said they don't have a.
But
a driver.
no one will ever say they have a number one driver. But every other weekend they're showing us maybe there's a number one driver, number two driver. Because
they're prioritizing Charles, but Sainz is always constantly on his radio.
Even
saying,
in quali, you remember even in quali, was it quali? Yes, it was.
They're always constantly saying, Sainz is saying I'm faster.
But and he is faster sometimes, and they won't let him sometimes through. So they, I think we had the retirement, who brought the safety car.
Ocon retired first.
Ocon retired, so sad.
It was so sad. And then we had someone stopping on the track. He decided to just park there.
He parked badly.
Yeah. He was like, I'm just tired. Let me just park here.
Yeah, he stopped. Yeah. So who was that? K-Mag?
Yeah, he stopped on the track.
Yeah,
he was first brought out a virtual safety car and then a full safety car. So I feel like with Lewis Hamilton gaining track position, he was waiting for the front runners to see what they do.
Yeah, because I think another safety car, the safety car is very, if you put another safety car in, Silverstone, it's actually very powerful because you only lose 9 seconds.
9 seconds.
Yeah, and even everyone is speeding, then that means you also gain track position. Yeah. So we had, I'm really I have a sneeze.
Yeah, we had Max beat Lando Norris as well.
And it was so surprising to actually see McLaren pit for hards. So Piastri had already pitted before the safety car, so he was out on hards as well, new hards, and then they pitted. Max was on used softs.
Lewis on used softs as well.
Used softs, and then Lando on very new hards. So everyone was like, can you explain that? I was actually worried for a while. I'm like, why would they pit him for hards? But their reasoning was white, they're new, shiny, hard, and Louis used soft.
But something.
And also behind Perez had he didn't pit then, but he already pitted, and he had some new softs as well. But then he had 3 new soft tires coming into the race.
Maybe him getting out of position in qualifying is trying to save his tires.
No, I kind of feel like he's just making his work so hard.
He wants us to think the Red Bull is not fast.
That Red Bull is still fast.
They should give it to me.
Do you have a driving license?
I will go and drive for them.
You'll drive for Red Bull?
Yeah.
Okay. So Red Bull, Christian Horner, here's your girl.
So we saw Perez. He did make up quite a few places.
I think he finished P7.
He finished P7.
P7.
Yeah.
So,
but someone we should be talking about is Albon.
Albon is I feel like this was Williams 800th Grand Prix.
And it was so lovely to see James say there's no one they'd rather
have on that
the 800th Grand Prix.
Honestly, I think you see this is what team principals are meant to do. I feel like that's why I will keep on telling people I don't think Albon will go to Red Bull. I don't think.
No, I also saw Helmut Marko kind of allude to the fact that he is extending his contract with Williams till 2025, because he was being asked about Sergio Perez and whatnot, and he said Albon is a great driver, but he thinks he's going to be with Williams till 2025.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a good choice because we did laugh and rubbish off their flaw, but they are showing out.
These people are fast in the streets. You see, you saw the whole Charles with Albon, and there's a point where Charles actually overtook him, but Albon was like, no.
Yeah, he went the straight line speed very, very, very fast.
And you've seen them now, the Williams has gone upwards in the
development.
In the constructors, they're P7 now.
Yeah, they're P7. They've gained a few points in the last races.
That's nice.
That's progress. We love to see it.
Yeah.
And also, did you see that funny Helmut Marko video? You saw it.
Yeah, when the McLarens they were celebrating and then trying to get through.
Oh my god, what is wrong? It was so funny. I'm like, okay, this photographer is trying to really get that cute moment with Zach Brown and
Lando Norris.
And then Helmut is like,
he just.
Anyway,
but anyway, I feel like the thing is, I was trying to calculate this in my head. So we there's new regulations coming in 2026, right? Mm-hmm. So by assuming the status quo is maintained, Max is winning. Will have 5 championships by 2025, by the end of 2025. So I mean, I wish I was him.
Good luck, Charlie.
I wish I was Max Verstappen.
I mean, that's like almost an assured, but let's just wait and see, right?
I mean, there are teams that are going to, try to catch up. Like, we will see. I don't think the Red Bull is going to win every single race this season, especially in the end of the season. At the end of the season, most teams tend to catch up to the leading team. So we might see maybe a McLaren win, Aston Martin, maybe Mercedes if they have God on their side.
Wow. So I think I did see something like if Max like even from now henceforth, if he just finishes P2,
he'll just win the championship. Max Verstappen will be P2 in the Constructors' Championship, like his points alone.
Behind Red Bull. But even those points are mostly his points.
Yeah, I mean Red Bull have 411 points in the Constructors and Max has 255. So 411, they have more points than Mercedes and Aston Martin.
These are not really good starts that I want to hear too, but I think as the great Schumacher said, let's just go racing. Records or like whatever is just a consequence of racing. For him, I was just watching a quite inspiring documentary done on Schumacher, and that's one of the things I picked there. Like for him, like the records was just a consequence of him showing up, racing and everything. So I think that was it. We had Lewis on used soft trying to get past a menacing rocket ship McLaren of Lando Norris. Unfortunately, we were not able to get that, and we ran out of tires. The rears on Lewis's car gave out. So we had a P1 from Max Verstappen, P2 Lando, P3 Hamilton, and then P4 Piastri. Had a very, for a rookie, I think McLarens are normally very good with the drivers. They really do pick. Remember Lewis's rookie season, very nice. Piastri's rookie season is actually like with a good car. He's driving so confidently,
so well,
and I think he's won with the car as. So it's nice to watch, and also he was able to hold off Russell behind as well. He was on hards. Russell was on mediums, and so that was nice to really watch.
Yeah, and you saw these people celebrating. They even Max forgot he was supposed to be given another trophy.
But these people are so happy.
Yeah, but it was genuinely nice to see 2 Brits on the podium. Lando Norris. Finally. Getting his day in the sun. He hasn't won a race yet, but
he will win. It's coming. He's shown us he's a race winner. In fact, I feel like he's also a future champion, champion. He's a future world champion. So I think that was it. A good day. Good old Silverstone always, it always brings some very good races. I hope.
Yeah, and the Silverstone is very star-studded. We saw so many stars on the paddock.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the cause, racing for dementia, where they're trying to raise funds for.
I did see. It's a very good initiative. Which driver is this? Like the old champion? What is his name? The one who's behind the whole initiative, racing for dementia.
I don't really
remember the name, but it's such a good initiative as well. And we, this weekend was actually a busy one. We had F1 Academy. They were out in Monza.
Yeah.
And doing very good races. I really can't wait for next year when we get like at least like live broadcast of the races.
They need to, give us live broadcast
of the
races.
races.
I want to see them race.
Me too. FT race, interesting. I watched the sprint race this weekend. Oh my god, like very, very good act. Oh god, it's beautiful.
I feel like the feeder series is they're so interesting because there's a sprint race every
yeah, and their sprint race is really a sprint race because their cars are similar. It's not like they're any way different. So it's your prowess that's really showing, or maybe your team strategy that's really showing.
It's basically the driver and the team to
actually like deliver.
To actually deliver. But seeing all these drivers, these young drivers, very interesting to just see them go racing. I love it. I like the whole reverse grid, situation.
Yeah, it's really like a really great.
Yeah, I actually enjoy watching F2 and F3. I have my favorites. I have a favorite to win the championship.
Who's your favorite to win?
Do you know the reserve driver for Aston Martin?
What's his name?
I think you're putting me on the spot now.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so that's
the reserve driver for Aston Martin.
That's your favorite. That's F3.
No,
F2. I think I did see. Let me see who I like. I don't know how off he is in the championship, but I am really drawn towards the Brit Oli Beerman.
Oli Beerman.
Yeah, or like
Vesti is also good. Is a
Mercedes driver. Yeah, he is in the Mercedes Academy. Yeah, so I feel like that's my
we'll see.
Yeah, let's wait and see. F2 just changes. F1 Academy, I think my favorite is, of course, I think I love Marta Garcia.
Really?
I do like her, and like the Alquabesi sister. Yeah, I think but also like everyone is my favorite. They're like,
you can't speak of
yeah, they're so good. All of them.
They should, if it was me, they should all win.
Yeah, right. But then it's just good to see that healthy competition going on. So I think that was it from us. But I really wanted to highlight one thing that really did come out of this weekend as well. So I'll just read from my phone. We had this. There's this initiative run by. It's called. What is it called? It's called More Than Equal. It's an initiative, trying to explore and give us. They believe we'll have like an F1 female champion in one of this in 10 years or something.
Yeah, we've had there's a woman who's won a race, so now we want a champion. Yeah,
so there's that More Than Equal. It's like founded by David Coulthard. David Coulthard is like an F1 driver. He was he's a former Formula One driver with this collaboration with a businessman. So it's good. They had like this report published. They were looking inside the track, exploring the gender gap in motorsport. It's exploring the gender gap like in all across with the drivers in the rest of the industry. Like for Formula One to stand, there's so many things going on behind the scenes. We have the engineers, we have the people who are organizing these events, the people who are keeping the track. Red Bull, please, we do so well in your catering, like the department. No, as in, I think we'll take nice photos. We're also good content creators. Yeah. So we had it's an interesting research, by the way. There's just so much. We have so many fans, especially like female fans coming up in the era of social media. We are everywhere. Content creators. There's so much, when you go on Instagram, on TikTok, Twitter, there's so much, F1 content. And I still feel like Formula One is still trying to tap into that. And it's like a gap.
Motorsport is not just Formula One. There's so much in motorsport.
So much of it. And also, the interesting thing is that, in this, the people they surveyed, some of them 50% are very good, avid motorsport fans. Yeah. But we had a very good chunk of them saying they weren't aware that Formula One is just not for male. They didn't know a female could run in F1.
Really?
That's interesting. Yeah, because it's good. We did that episode on F1 Academy, and we really did go into that a little bit. So it's a good if you want More Than Equal, they are there on social media, on Instagram as well. They have that the report there. It's just new information. I love it. I feel like we are also a left out market here in Africa.
Yeah, I mean they should come to
Africa
and see how many people watch races.
People are hosting private parties. There are so many watch parties in Nairobi. Everyone.
I love how Formula One is becoming, a thing,
and
now, and so many people are actually going to watch it.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have to know. You don't have to know every driver on the grid.
No, that's not even Formula One.
Most people don't even know all the drivers in the grid.
Sometimes even the teams are confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw Crofty, talking about, who was it? He confused the names while he was commentating. So
on live, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah,
I remember, for the longest time, I couldn't even call Alpha Tauri. I used to forget. Forget. I think it happens, and you don't have to know who won in 1997, 1977.
Where the first Grand Prix was held, or you don't have to.
But you have to know Roscoe. Yeah. No, but anyway, we're just saying, motorsport is an arena for everyone. We have that culture. We had WRC running here in Kenya.
I mean, just come, go watch the cars go round.
Look out for, just stay, following us on Instagram. We will maybe be posting, who knows, we might host a watch party very soon. And remember, we are open. You don't have to be, as we've said, you don't have to be a walking dictionary or on Formula One engineering. We are also winging it. We don't know aerodynamics, but here we love to read, so we will sometimes have a bit of knowledge on how ground effect works, to do the rear end or whatever. But basically, most of the time we're just having fun, because these are just our opinions, and it's just all fun all the time. We want to just have, I want to have girls in here. I want to have engineers in. We are also going soon to have someone come, interview an engineer, really explain to us aerodynamics sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to know.
Sometimes they're just saying things because we read them off the internet. But sometimes it would be nice to really, really know what we're talking about.
From someone who
has experience and practical and knowledge
in that field.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one day soon. I don't know, who do you want to interview?
Lewis Hamilton. No, I think but if you feel you've got it as an engineer, dynamicist, if you feel you've got it and you can come explain some concepts on aerodynamics of the Formula One car, the engineering aspect of Formula One, please shoot us a shot. Just DM us or send us an email. We have an email on our bio. Just or just reply down below. On YouTube or whatever you watch.
Whatever you're talking about, and we'll hit you up, and
we will have you here.
Yeah.
So thank you guys again for supporting. Please stream us.
Continue subscribing, watching,
and we
listening.
did hit 100 followers on Instagram.
You should have bought me a cake.
Guys, we need you to also help us on YouTube. Hit 100 subscribers.
Yes.
Maybe by the end of next, we'll give you up to Hungary, guys.
Hungary is soon.
Yeah, in a fortnight. We need to get to 100. It's not. I think we're at 50 or something. So we just need 50 more subscribers.
Yeah.
Sorry, fast to your friends.
If you like Roscoe, you have to.
Also, if you like Max.
Yeah. And his cats.
Our podcast is missing. Okay, bye guys. Have a lovely week, and we'll see you in Budapest in a fortnight.
Yeah, bye guys.